like somebody else. I want to be free because I want to be kingdomly cured. Hey, glory to God. I recognize there's some places in my life that's not healthy. I recognize there's some components in my life that ain't wealthy. I recognize that there's some areas in my soul that ain't happy. And I know there's some places in my walk that ain't holy. Yo, Grill, I said I want to be free. Touch 3 people and tell them I want to be free. I'm voicing that. That's putting pressure on that devil. It's putting pressure on that spirit. It's putting pressure on that evil influence. Somebody shout it again, I want to be free. Come on, look at somebody else, say, I want to be free. I'm making your voice come in harmony with the voice of God, even though your flesh don't want to. You are spirit being first, and I'm working authority in a spirit realm that's going to show up in the natural. Touch 2 more people and say, I want to be free. You need your bills paid, so you laid down with somebody you really didn't love, and here comes a child. Now you stuck with that baby daddy for 20 years. Instant gratification because we don't like routine. But everybody say something is shifting in my life. Come on, say I have a new normal. Come on, say it with authority. Say I have a new normal. And so we got to understand that oppression.
Hey, we want to welcome you to the Freedom Rocks service live that's going on right now. My name is Elder Thomas Key here at Freedom Rock, and I'm telling you, today is going to be electric. Our very own Bishop-elect LaBaron Hedgemon has a word for you in such a time as this. I believe the praise team is getting ready to go on now, and it's going to be an epic service. Listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to like, I want you to share, get your watch party together. Go ahead and grab a cup of coffee, because here at Freedom, we're practicing social distancing. So I want to make sure that you're watching this live on your iPhone, on your television, wherever you are, because Bishop-elect LaBaron Hedgemon has a word for you on today. I hear the praise team getting cranked up. I'll be back right after this.
Hallelujah. God, we thank you for freedom. We thank you for liberty, God, in you, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. Come on, put your hands together with us as we celebrate and magnify our God. Hallelujah, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I want to clap my hands louder than before. I want to sing louder than before. I want to jump higher than before. I gotta shout louder. Shout freedom. Sing louder than before. I want to jump higher than before. I've got to shout louder. Freedom. Freedom. We thank you for no longer bound, that we have freedom and liberty in you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord God. Thank you for freedom. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And because we're free, we can always worship you, God. Because you're still making miracles. You're still making ways out of no way, God. We still trust you, Jesus. We trust your timing, oh God. Because you are the miracle worker. You are the way maker. God, we thank you. We're depending on you, God. We know you're going to make a way for us. When there seems to be no way, God, you specialize in miracles. God, we thank you for it. We exalt you for it because you're matchless. You never lost a case, God, and you never lost a battle, Father. You're almighty and you're all-knowing. So right where you are, lift your hands. Thank you, God. You are the miracle worker. You are the God of signs, wonders. God, we thank you. Thank you, Jesus. We thank you. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you. You're the God of miracles, signs and wonders. We believe in your power. We believe in your power. You're the God of miracles, signs and wonders. We believe in your power. We believe. Sing it again. Sing, you're the God of miracles, signs and wonders. We believe in your power. We believe. Sing it again. Sing, you're the God. Signs and wonders, we believe in your power. Hallelujah, Jesus. Oh, wonder-working power, supernatural power. You got the power. Oh, your miracle worker. Hallelujah. Bless your miracle working God. You are your miracle worker. We bless you, Lord. We exalt your name, Jesus. Your miracle worker. You keep making ways out of no way, God. You keep making provision, Jesus. Your miracle worker. And we thank you, Lord, and we bless you, Jesus. Hey, you're the God. You're the God of miracles, signs and we believe. We believe in your power. We believe. We believe in your power. You're the God of miracles, signs and wonders. We believe in your power. We believe. Sing again. Sing, you're the God of miracles, signs and wonders. We believe in your power. We believe in your power. Supernatural power, wonder-working power. You got the power. Your miracle worker. You're a miracle worker. You're a miracle worker. We're trusting on you, Jesus. We're believing in you, God. You are your miracle worker. You're still making ways, Jesus. You still have all power, Lord. You are your miracle worker. There's nobody like you. There's nobody like you. Say we believe. We believe in your power. We believe in your power. We believe. We have no doubt in you, Jesus. We believe. You have all power, God. We believe in your power. We believe in your power. We believe. Hallelujah, Jesus. Hey, you're a miracle worker. You're a miracle worker. Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, Lord. You're a miracle worker. You're a miracle worker. I love you, Jesus, because you never let us down. You are. You're a miracle worker. You keep making ways out of no way. You are. You Jesus. In your power, we believe. One last time. You're the God. God of miracles, signs and wonders, we believe.
Grace and peace be unto you. I wanted to say good morning, and I know for some of you that would be appropriate, but we have others who are watching the broadcast and the streaming at various times throughout the day. But this is a very important time. It is an opportunity. Yes, it's an opportunity to give. And I was reading the other day in Hebrews 13:5, which was a scripture that just really spoke to us so greatly. God said over and over, I will never leave you. He said, I will not let you down. He said, I will not release my hold from on you. And we discovered, and God spoke to us in that moment of the word, that we have heaven's support. And I believe that firmly, like never before, not in 2019, like never before, we have heaven's support. But amazingly, at the earlier part of that verse, he says, listen, keep your life free from the love of money. Don't be covetous as relates to money, because there is a contradiction between knowing you have heaven's support, knowing that God will never leave you, and yet and still being covetous with money. So I believe that we are not a part of that group. I believe we are a part of that cheerful group, because I can't give cheerfully and fearfully. And so I want to motivate you and encourage you today to give cheerfully unto the Lord. And there are three ways in which you can give, and we're going to have that. We have that available to you now on the screen. And to our tithers, we're going to bring to God what belongs to Him, 10% of what we have received. To those who have an offering, I don't have a tithe this week, but I do have an offering because I love God. And then those who are sowing their seed, because I'm believing God. You may not just be believing God for money. You may be believing God for something for your children. You may be believing God for something in your business. You may be believing God for sustainment. So I'm going to sow a seed. The Bible says in Genesis 8:28, as long as the earth remains, as long as you got someplace to step on, there will be a time to sow, seed time and harvest. There's a time in between that. But you can best believe that we sow with harvest in mind. So I want you to prepare your gifts now. Whether you're there getting ready to prepare to do it through the app, or if you're going to do by text, come on, let's get ready to prepare our gifts. And I want to pray right now before we hit that send button for our tithe, for our offering, or even for our seed. Hold that your phone in hand, whatever, your iPad in hand, and let me pray with you now. Father, I thank you now in Jesus' name for this opportunity to give and to sow. We bless your name that we believe we have heaven's support. We thank you, God, that we have no need to fear. We don't give fearfully, we give cheerfully. And so we thank you now, God, and as we tithe faithfully and as we sow continually, every stream of income that you have ordained for our life is flowing. Not going to, we speak prophetically. It is flowing into our life, and it's coming from everywhere, all directions. We declare the stream of compensation, the stream of harvest, the stream of investment, and the stream of inheritance. Because these streams are all flowing, we thank you, God, that we are blessed. Hallelujah. We thank you that our family, yes, is blessed. And we thank you that our church family is blessed in Jesus' name. Hey, thank you so much for being committed to God in your tithe, committed to God even in your offering this week. To those who put an offering with your tithe or just have an offering, and to those of you who are believing God, also thank you for your seed of faith. God is going to honor what you just sown. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Now, after we give in person, we always follow it up with a praise. So I know you're watching there right now. Let's give God praise. Hallelujah. Glory to God that abundance, overflow, surplus will be your testimony. God bless.
Because God is the greatest power, we should never be defeated. And everything that does come contrary to what that says, it has to come down in His name. So we lift up the name of Jesus. Jesus, you're higher than what we're going through right now. Jesus, you're higher than how we feel right now. You are the strong name. Thank you, Jesus. Your name is stronger than sickness. Oh, you are the strong name. And your name is more powerful than darkness. Oh, you are the strong name. Your name is bigger than mountains. Oh, you are the strong name. Never doesn't say the same. We will stand and proclaim it's coming down in your name. For you are the strong name. Thank you, God. You are the strong name, Lord. You are the strong name. Thank you, Jesus. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run in and they are saved. I am so glad that I have a Father, that when I am weak, I have his strength. Oh Lord, for you are the strong name. You are the strong name. Oh Lord, you are the strong name. Oh Lord, you are the strong name. Nothing can defeat the name of Jesus. You are the strong name. Your name is healer, healer, healer. You are the strong name. And you've never been defeated. You are the strong name. There's healing in your name, Jesus. Yeah. And it holds all power, all power, all power. Tell me who can stand before us when we call on that great name. His name is Jesus. His name is Jesus. His name is Jesus. His name is Jesus. I dare you to declare it right where you are. His name is Jesus. You are. Your name is all powerful. You are. Your name is healer. You are. You are. You are. Hey, say you are the strong name. You are the. Yes, God, you healer. You are the strong name. You are the. You have all power. You are all powerful. You are the strong name. You are the. You've never been defeated, oh God. You are the strong name. You are the. When we love you, we can count on you. We're depending on you. You are the strong name. You are the. I love you. I need you. You are the strong name. You are the. You are the strong name. You are the strong name. And whatever doesn't stay the same, we will stand and proclaim. And when heartache doesn't stay the same, we will stand and proclaim. And when the situation and say the same. We will stand and proclaim it's coming down in your name. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you,
All the glory, honor, and praise for the power afforded us through the name of Jesus. We thank God for our praise team ministering to us, helping set the atmosphere, amen, in our viewing, regardless if we're at home or wherever we may be, for this, the word of the Lord. We want to greet our viewing audience from all over the country, throughout homes. We believe firmly that this day the Lord has a word just for you. We've been talking now for some period of time from the thought courage for Corona or courage amid Corona. And we want to continue to use our base scripture whereby that thought has come, which God has given us in this hour to be strong in faith and to refuse to be intimidated by the worldly influence of fear. So we'll be coming from Philippians chapter 1, verse number 28 for our scripture this morning. Philippians chapter 1. We're going to look at verse number 28, and then we will pace with that verse a very commonly known scripture that we hear quoted a lot, which is Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. So that's Philippians 1 and 28. Then Ephesians chapter 3, verse number 20. And the Bible says in Philippians chapter 1, verse number 28, these words, reading from the King James Version. The Bible says, and in nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is, he says here, to them an evident token of perdition, but to you of salvation, and that of our God. And in nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is an evident token to your adversaries when you're terrified that you're done, perdition. But when you're not terrified, it is an evident token of your salvation that it is of God. Now, Ephesians chapter 3, verse number 20. And I'll read from the King James Version, and then we'll read from the Amplified. It says, now unto him that is able, glory to God, to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we may ask or even think, according to the power that worketh in us. Amplified says it this way. Now unto him who by, in consequence of, the action of his power that is at work within us is able to carry out his purpose and do, hear this, super abundantly, far above, far over and above all that we dare, that's that courage synonym, to ask or think, infinitely beyond our highest prayers, our highest desires, our highest thoughts, our highest hopes, or even our highest dreams. We want to continue in this series, Courage Amid Corona, and this morning's message is entitled Supernatural Only. Supernatural only. Again, supernatural only. Let us pray. Father, we pray now that the word of the Lord that you have already ordained, that God, it be released with your power and personality and without hindrance. We thank you that the word of the Lord, God, enters into our hearts and our homes without hindrance. It comes within itself healing, provision, miracles, and manifestations. So now let this word be clarified. Let this word, God, give me the impartation that I need for this moment in my life. I thank you, after having heard this word of faith, my life will never be the same again. In Jesus' name, amen. Supernatural only. Now, God has been dealing with us on the need to not be terrified. God spoke to us in Philippians that we must take on this mindset. We must take on this disposition, this courageous disposition, where we're saying, even in the midst of a pandemic, we refuse to be terrified. We told you that you got to refuse to receive terror's version. Terror's version is to make you feel and think as though something bad is happening or is getting ready to happen to you, to your family, to your situation, to your hopes, and to your dreams. But we must refuse to receive terror's version. In other words, you have to understand the vital importance of being a child of God in this hour. Not just having, oh my God, the possession of faith. Watch this, but knowing how to express your faith. And even though terror wants to suggest that something bad is getting ready to happen, courage tells me something big is getting ready to happen. And I need somebody now to extend your faith for that. I refuse to receive terror's version. And I don't believe something bad is getting ready to happen for me. I believe something big is getting ready to happen for me. Anybody want to believe that? Anybody would claim that and declare that so for you? Nothing bad, but definitely something big. I'm going to say it again. Nothing bad, but definitely something big. See, when you overcome fear and when you overcome terror, that's why God had us speaking courage and dealing with courage and dealing with faith and dealing with fear, knowing how to express your faith. That's what courage is. That's why the Bible says have faith in possession, but it says be courageous, okay? Because you got to know, you got to go from possession to expression. Okay? It's one thing to have faith in possession, but you got to be courageous and bold enough to express it. And I've discovered that when terror and when fear is removed out of your life, when you can shake that from your spirit, you will be bold enough then to believe God. And to believe God in a way, watch this, that is attractive to God and that commands heaven's best. Boldness is attractive to God and it commands heaven's best. When you're bold, you are then attractive to God and you command heaven's best. See, this level of boldness places a demand on the supernatural. That's why in this hour you cannot be terrified. You cannot be in fear. You've got to be bold because this boldness places a demand on the supernatural. You have to take on this kind of mindset. I refuse to even negotiate or even compromise my standard for the common. Oh God, I've lived that way before, where I just accepted what is and I just took things to be however they came. But thanks be to God, the supernatural is brewing in your spirit. Your faith is being stirred and you refuse to negotiate for the common or the as is. This is a level of boldness that places and that declares supernatural only. Somebody shout that. Supernatural only. Come on, shout it again. Supernatural only. Now, let's give you a working expression for supernatural, because I need you to get this in your spirit. I need you to get this in your spirit. I need you to understand this is how we are identifying the supernatural. This is what the Spirit of the Lord shared with me to share with you. He said the supernatural, the very thing that courage and boldness is placing a command on and a demand on, the very thing that terror and fear cannot tap into, the supernatural. He said this: better than expected, bigger than anticipated right now. I'm going to give it to you again. He says supernatural, better than expected, bigger than anticipated right now. Again, the supernatural is better than I expected and bigger than I anticipated right now. Now, let me help you. Let's make sure we understand fully how the supernatural works so that we can all be where we need to be in just a few moments. Please understand that the Bible assures us of this intelligence. There are two realms. If you're taking notes, you want to notate this. There are two realms. The Bible says in Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1, in the beginning, God created not just heaven, but he created heaven and he created the earth. So God created that existence would have two different realms whereby one is able to either live within or receive from. There is the heavenly realm and then there is the earthen realm. Also, we see this same confirmation in the new covenant. Genesis 1:1 is the old covenant. But if you look in Colossians chapter 1, verse number 16, you will see here where the Bible tells us yet again. He says, for by him, who God, were all things what? Created, that are in heaven and that are in earth. He lets us know there is a visible realm that you can see. Then there is a invisible realm where you cannot see, whether they be thrones or whether we're talking about dominions, okay, or dimensions and principalities and powers. All things were created by him and for him. So there is a heavenly realm, there is an earthen realm. The heavenly realm is invisible without revelation. The earthen realm is visible to all humanity. Now, when we talk about the earth realm, I want you to see it this way. Earth is the natural realm. Earth is the natural realm. When you're talking about earth, you're talking about the natural realm, that in which even one who's not spiritual, not born again, can even see very clearly. Earth is the natural realm, okay? Okay, so let's define heaven. Heaven, we want you to begin to understand and to believe and to know that heaven is the super realm. Okay, so earth is the natural realm. Heaven is the super realm. Whenever God does something supernaturally, he allows heaven to show up in the earth. Again, whenever God does something supernaturally, he allows the super realm, heaven, to show up in the earth, natural realm. And we see this, that whenever we begin to talk about the Spirit of God, whenever you begin to talk about God and of himself, there is a correlation between the spirit realm and the supernatural. Look at Galatians chapter 4, verse 31 in the Amplified. There's a correlation between the spirit realm and the supernatural. Here he says, so brethren, we who are born again, those who have received Christ, those who have now not just known God as creator, but he's become your father through his son Jesus. Now the Spirit of God lives in you because you have now been born again. You are not just children of a natural, but you are now free by the supernatural. So he lets us know that when you get born again, you're now able, glory to God, to access and receive from the supernatural. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you have and don't have. I don't care how long a situation has been. If you are born again, you need this word because you need to know what you have access to. The born again believer doesn't have to settle for what is just is in the natural. You got access to the supernatural. See, heaven, many when you hear heaven because of the degree in which we have been theologically exposed, many when hear heaven only think the eternal state of man after judgment. We think of the place that we hear our great-grandmothers always singing about, streets paved with gold and things of this sort. When we hear heaven, we think about where man goes after death and judgment. But you've got to understand that heaven has more than just the definition of the eternal state. Heaven is not just the place where the believer enters after death and judgment. No, heaven is what we know as the spirit realm, or also the resourceful realm, or what we now know to be the supernatural realm. So heaven is not just where you go after death. Heaven is a realm that you can access while on earth, where you can tap into supernatural resources that you could not have tapped into pre-Jesus and pre-being born again. So heaven is not just where you're trying to go after your funeral. No, heaven is what you're wanting to access even right now during the coronavirus. Heaven is what Jesus often referred to as the kingdom of heaven, a resourceful realm whereby blessings derive supernaturally. Heaven is not just a place where you go after you die. Heaven is a resourceful realm, okay, whereby our blessings derive supernaturally. Heaven is a resourceful realm. It is the spiritual realm. It is the supernatural realm where your blessings come from. Let me show it to you. Ephesians chapter 1, verse number 3. Tells us this. It backs this. Paul, in this letter to the church of Ephesus, he tells them, "Blessed be the God of our Father and of our Lord Jesus Christ." Watch this. Who not is going to bless us. Glory to God. Not who's making preparation to bless us. Not who's thinking about blessing us, but who hath blessed us. He has already blessed us, watch this, with all spiritual blessings. Why did he call them spiritual blessings? Because they are in a realm. Once they manifest, they are natural blessings. But he's already blessed us, not with some, but with all spiritual blessings. Watch this, there it is, in heavenly places in Christ. So he says, watch this, heaven is not just a place where you go. Heaven is a place or a realm whereby your blessings already exist. It is the supernatural realm. Let's go to Matthew chapter 16, verse number 19. So we got to redo. We have to relearn our idea of heaven. We cannot just know heaven as a place where man goes after death and after judgment. But we must understand there is a heavenly realm that we are to access while on earth. He said, "And I will give unto you the keys," look what he says, "to the kingdom of heaven." He said, now these are not keys to get to heaven. No, you can't unlock heaven within your own power. He says, these are keys, watch this, to give you access to heaven. The term kingdom of heaven speaks of heaven's best made accessible to earth. Kingdom of heaven, heaven's best that is made accessible to earth. He said, I'm going to give you keys so you can access the kingdom of heaven. Watch this, that whatever you bind down there has to be already bound up here. In other words, if it's bound up here with this access to this realm, you can command it, you can obligate it to be bound down there. And whatever is loosed down there has to be in harmony with what is loosed up here. It is a realm that while on earth, he gave us keys. While on earth, he gave us keys in 2020. He gave us keys in the month of March today so that we can access, glory to God, this realm of the supernatural while here on earth. Look at it in the Amplified. Praise the Lord. Amen. Everybody shout, I got access. Come on, say, I got access to the supernatural. Hallelujah. Glory to God. Tell somebody else that they sitting by you. Tell them, I got access to the supernatural. He said, I will give you. Look what he says here in the Amplified. He said, I will give you, glory to God, the keys to the kingdom. He says that I will give you keys to the kingdom of heaven, that whatever you bind, whatever you declare to be improper and unlawful on earth, not when you get to heaven, on earth, must be what is already bound in heaven. And whatever you loose and declare lawful on earth must be already what's lawful and what's loosed in heaven. Why did I have you to read that? Because you must understand personally. It's not the church's responsibility to know this and exercise this. It is not some organization's responsibility to exercise and to know this. No, this is individually to the citizens of the kingdom. You've got to know it is the will of God that heaven has influence on earth. I'm going to say it again. It is the will of God that heaven has influence on earth. See, this is what we've got to see. This is those who are spiritual and praying, those who are hearing from God, understand that what we need more of heaven's influence on earth. Yes, and that's what God desires. And the only way he's going to be able to allow heaven's influence to show up on earth is that the citizens of the kingdom on earth has got to access heaven while here on earth. And so this is why Jesus, the first thing he taught his disciples was not how to shout. The first thing he taught his disciples was not how to speak in tongues. The first thing he taught his disciples was not lyrics from a hymn. When you read Matthew chapter 6 and you look at verse number 9, when we know to be the model prayer, Matthew chapter 6, verse number 9, the first thing Jesus taught his disciples was how to pray. And he said, after this manner, in other words, he said, this is the format. Therefore, pray ye. He said, first of all, honor the Father. Before you even proceed to ask of anything, pray in a way where you first begin your prayer by honoring the Father. Our Father, which art in heaven, O God, and hallowed worthy, to be is thy name. Look what he says. Then he goes on to say, he begins the prayer now after honoring God. The first thing he tells them to pray in verse number 10, after honoring God, he says to them, pray thy kingdom come. Pray that thy kingdom come. This is not a model prayer where we just pray when we want to eat or when we don't know what to pray. The prayer of Matthew 6 is a prayer of intercession. He said, I need you. When you look at it, you read the prayer, that's not a personal prayer. That's a prayer of intercession. He said, I need my citizens of the kingdom in the earth to be praying that my kingdom come. Glory to God. He didn't say pray that the kingdom exists. He didn't say pray that the kingdom stands. He didn't say pray that the kingdom survives. He didn't say pray that the kingdom succeeds. He said pray that the kingdom come. This is a prayer that we were never supposed to cease praying. We're supposed to always be ushering in and giving an invitation for the kingdom of God to come into the earth. He said pray that my kingdom come. What does he mean? Pray thy kingdom come. What does he mean? Pray that thy kingdom come. It is because the kingdom has a destination. Oh God, I pray you receive. I pray you get that. The kingdom has a destination. No, the kingdom is not God sitting up in heaven in these throne chairs with angels singing around him and all. No, kingdom is God's rule. It's God's order. It's God's government. It's God's provision. It's God's promises. He said, pray that the kingdom comes to its destination. What is the destination of the kingdom? It is the earth. Glory to God. And he said, when I have disciples, when I got people who are not just distracted, we are aware but not distracted about what's going on the airways and what's going on across this nation. When they're not distracted, they can be committed to intercession. And if I can get enough of you to intercede that the kingdom comes to its destination, then what was on earth will be no more, because what is in heaven has to manifest in its destination, the earth. What is earth? Earth, we know literally, is a part of God's creation. It's a part of the spatial. We understand it is a part of the planets. That's earth. But then figuratively, Earth is humanity and its habitation. It's not just a place where the solar system, and we are a part of that solar system. No, when he says that the kingdom has to come to its destination, the earth, he's talking about the place where humanity resides and its habitation. I'm getting ready to say something very powerful here. I've noticed throughout the Word of God, this is my argument today, which justifies why we must begin to intercede and declare supernatural only, declare heaven on earth. Because when I study the Word of God in the Old Testament, as well as even in the New Testament, hear this: earth's inconvenience is heaven's invitation. I'm going to say that again. Earth's inconvenience is heaven's invitation. When intercessors are where they're supposed to be, when believers in their faith and in their prayer walk are where they are supposed to be, an inconvenience in the earth becomes an invitation in heaven. That's why in Matthew 6 he said, first pray the kingdom. But then he goes on and said, seek the kingdom, same chapter. Because he said when it comes to the inconvenience of earth, when you're worrying about how you're going to be fed, when you're worrying about how you're going to be clothed, he said, seek first the kingdom, the supernatural. And he says, and all of these things will be added to you. So when earth gets inconvenienced, you continue to seek the kingdom. You continue to pray out the kingdom. You continue to believe God for heaven on earth. And where earth has an inconvenience, God said, it is my invitation. You need another witness. He says, watch this. If my people who are called according to my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, invitation, turn from their wicked ways, heaven's invitation, watch, during earth's inconvenience, then will I heal their land and forgive their sins. Every time there was an inconvenience in the earth, like what we're dealing with now, we must have those on the front line who understand the answer is intercession. The answer is prayer, who can pray in and pray into invitation heaven while on earth. He said in Ezekiel 22:30, and I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge to stand in the gap before me and the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none. Here it is again. God says, when there was an inconvenience in the earth, when there was destruction in the earth, when there was desolation in the earth, when there was pandemic in the earth, I need somebody who will stand on earth and invite heaven on my behalf. And all I need is an invitation. That's the command. When the woman of the issue of blood has spent all she had, earth's inconvenience, there were no more specialists, no more doctors, no more co-pays, exhausted. Heaven's invitation. She touched the hem of his garment. And here it is again, where there was an earthen inconvenience. It gave way for heaven's invitation. He said, pray that thy kingdom come, that thy will be done on earth, as it is in heaven. The will of God, saints, is not some matrix that can be manipulated or substituted. No, you cannot manipulate the will of God, and there is nothing that can substitute for the will of God. The will of God, hear this, is the supernatural intentions of God for man. The will of God is the supernatural intentions of God for man. You can make it personal, and where man is, say me. Come on, say it with me. The will of God is the supernatural intentions of God for me. That's what the will of God is. Why do you say intentions, Pastor? Because the will of God does not automatically happen. The will of God does not automatically happen. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish. He did not say would not perish. Why? Because even though it is the will of God that none would perish, he understands the will of God does not automatically happen. So we must pray out the will if we want to see it come to pass. So what do I must do? Pastor, you saying pray that the kingdom come, pray that his will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Well, how does those intentions work for me? What do I do to see the intentions in that supernatural will and intentions of God for me come to pass? It is only when we submit to his will that his supernatural intentions become realities. It is when we submit to his will that his supernatural intentions become reality. I need you to hear this in the spirit. When the intentions of God become reality, then you have kingdom. Kingdom is nothing more than the manifested intentions of God for you, for the church, for the body of Christ, for your family. And when you submit to his will, everything God intended for you becomes a reality. Saints, we've got to pray like never before. Father, let your kingdom come, because as we pray that the kingdom comes, and as we're not terrified, but we're bold enough to pray, God, let your will be done in earth, we're doing nothing more than praying for the supernatural. I need somebody to go ahead and declare it's time to pray for the supernatural. I said I need somebody to declare it's time to pray for the supernatural. We declare the supernatural all over the world. We declare the supernatural comes into every nation, into every ethnicity. We declare the supernatural in South Africa, the supernatural in Venezuela, the supernatural in China, the supernatural in Vietnam, the supernatural in Africa, the supernatural in the Dominican Republic, the supernatural in North and South Korea. We declare the supernatural in the United States of America. We declare the supernatural in Mississippi. We declare the supernatural in Meridian. I need somebody that's born again that can go with me into the realm of the spirit. And even in the midst of what we have seen, inconvenience in the earth, God has found a collective group of intercessors who are praying, God, let your kingdom come and let your supernatural will be done. I need somebody to give God a radical shout of praise right there for the supernatural. And so the Bible says that after we are no longer terrified, and now that we have the boldness that God wants us to have, we can now pray in a bold manner. We can pray Ephesians 3:20. Amplified says, now unto him who is able to carry out his purpose. I need somebody to say, God, carry out your purpose. See, we can't be afraid. Some of us, we're afraid to pray the will of God because we think the will of God is going to result in more deaths. We think the will of God is going to result in some punishment of us for our sins. That is a law-based mentality. You got to be freed from the religious law, and you got to understand the kingdom of God houses his promises and his privileges and his provisions for you. Say it again, Lord, carry out your purpose. He said, what is that purpose? That purpose is for me to do super abundantly more. I need somebody to declare it, super abundantly more. One more time, super abundantly more. In other words, he said, when you begin to pray, I need you to believe me for the supernatural only. I need you to understand that I'm ready to do something that's bigger than you expected, bigger than you anticipated right now. Somebody shout yes. I said, somebody shouted, yes, God. I release you to do in my life better than I expected, bigger than I anticipated. Right now, somebody declare it, the supernatural only. I'm telling you, now is the right place to look around the home whereby you are residing and declare the supernatural is coming right here. Look at your family members if they are in your proximity and declare the supernatural is coming right here. Make eye contact with somebody else and tell them the supernatural is coming right here. Supernatural only. That's what I speak. That's what I'm declaring. That's the word and the vocabulary and the vernacular of my home. Everybody will be declaring supernatural only. Nothing anymore that's mediocre, that's moderate, that's ordinary, that's regular, that's boilerplate, that's common, that's fair, that's familiar, that's garden, that's general, that's humdrum, that's immediate, that's average, or that's natural. I'm declaring declaring the supernatural only. I speak now in the name of Jesus that there will be supernatural harmony in your house. No more division and no more distance. There may be social distance, but there will not be an intimate distance. I declare relationships under the housetop of your home begins to blend like never before. Even during this quarantine, the hearts of the children are turning back to the hearts of the parents, and the hearts of the parents are turning to the hearts of the children. I declare supernatural harmony in your house. Within every Gregorian calendar, there are 4 quarters to the year. The first quarter is January through March. The second quarter is April through June. The third quarter is July through September. And the fourth quarter is October through December. We are in the ending of the second quarter. We were surprised, shocked out of nowhere by this, what is called this COVID-19 pandemic. And many of you, terror is trying to make you believe that you're coming out of the first quarter and that you'll be behind the second quarter, because things have been either delayed, things are being suspended, or things are being temporarily denied. But as your man of God, I speak now in Jesus' name that in the name of Jesus, the supernatural begins to work for you even when your eyes are closed. The supernatural begins to work for you. I declare the supernatural over your second quarter. I speak April through June will be a time of recovery, a time of restoration, a time of restitution, and more shall come to you than they've ever come in your life. How it's going to happen? Supernatural only. How it's going to manifest? Supernatural only. Who is going to come through? The supernatural only. You got 2 more days, 72 hours left in this first quarter, and I'm declaring in the name of Jesus that in the second quarter, supernatural only, in the mighty name of Jesus, better than you expected, bigger than you anticipated. Right now, somebody throw your head back and declare it, declare it, declare it. Better than I expected, bigger than I anticipated. Right now, supernatural, come on in. Supernatural, flow on in. I believe April through June is going to make you smile like never before. Get ready to look around your house, look around your home, look around your dwelling, look at all your possessions and say, wow. Wow to my income. Wow to what he kept. Wow to what came. Wow to what left. Wow to what emerged. Wow to what came forth. I'm getting ready for the supernatural. Can I preach by myself? Get ready for the supernatural to hit your clientele. Where are all my small business owners? Where are all my entrepreneurs? I'm declaring your books will be fuller than they've ever been. You're going to have to hire some folk to help you service what's coming your way, because the supernatural is about to blow up in your life. Well, you might as well shout right here that God is going to bless your clientele. Stretch your hands toward that screen. I declare in the name of Jesus, everything your hands touch is going to prosper. They gotta keep you on today, because there's too much prosperity coming out of your hands. They can't let you go. There's too much prosperity flowing through your life. They can't cut your hours. There's too much prosperity flowing through your life. I'm declaring supernatural over every initiative, everything you dreamed of, everything you wrote on your vision board, everything you prophesied in January 1. God's about to bring supernatural on your initiative. Somebody shout, better than I expected, bigger than I anticipated. Somebody shout right now, I gotta get ready to go because my time is well spent and the clock on the wall says that's all. But before I go, I'm here to prophesy to everyone that will receive it. Get ready for manifestations regularly in Jesus' name. I said manifestations regularly in Jesus' name. Manifestations regularly in Jesus' name. Stand on your feet. Put your hand on your hip. Throw your shoulders back and declare it supernatural only. Is there anybody that feel like I feel? Well, don't wait till the battle is over. Shout right now. 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 Put a trumpet to your mouth. Throw your head back, Zion. Open your lips and shout glory. Shout glory. Shout glory. Shout glory. Shout glory. The more you shout glory, the more the procession of the supernatural and his angels walk into your house. Lift your hands and shout glory, 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 glory right here, glory right now, glory in my life, glory in my mind, glory in my body, glory in my money, glory in my career. Take 30 seconds and give God the glory. Hey, Lord. Hey, Lord. Hey, Lord. I believe. Supernatural only. Supernatural only. Supernatural only. Your faith determines your direction. Fear has some terrified to boldly declare some things. Faith have others courageously declaring the supernatural. He said, I'm able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you may even ask, think, or imagine, according to the power that's working in you. That power is faith. God said, when you begin to pray to me in faith, when you begin to declare things in faith, when you begin in the face of opposition to declare my promises, he said, I gotta do higher than what you prayed. I cannot allow what you prayed to be greater than what I manifest. I have to do exceedingly and abundantly above. Ephesians 3:20, asking and thinking is supernatural. And I believe wholeheartedly that God is getting ready to bring the supernatural into your life in a way you've never imagined. I need you to begin to believe God with me that now in the name of Jesus, we thank you that terror has been cast down, and like never before, courage
the expression of faith has increased. God, I thank you that even now we dare to boldly declare and decree supernatural only. Even if some are watching who have even been confirmed to have the coronavirus, I declare even right where you are, after diagnosis, supernatural only. I declare it in Jesus' name. Strength comes to you. You will be healed. You will recover. You will live. And you will testify of the Lord's goodness. God, may we not be infected by the virus of fear, but may we stay vibrant in faith, declaring the supernatural. To everyone that's watching, I speak now under your anointing. Better than expected, bigger than anticipated, right now, in Jesus' name. Come on, right where you are, just open your mouth and worship the Lord. Hallelujah.
Wow, what a word. Did not that message bless your hearts? The supernatural only. I took notes, man. Bishop-elect Hedgemon preached about earth's inconvenience is heaven's invitation. Supernatural meaning better than expected, bigger than anticipated right now. I dare you to decree that at your home, wherever you are watching this. Come on, let's decree it together. Better than expected, bigger than anticipated right now. I tell you the truth, man, that word was just more for this entire nation, not just for Meridian or Mississippi, but I believe that he spoke a word for that entire nation. If you're watching this right now and you're saying, Elder, listen, that message was for me and I feel in my heart I need to give my life to Christ, I want you to do something here real quick while you're sitting there. You know, you don't have to be at church in order to give your life to Christ, but you can be anywhere in the nation, in the car, in the bathroom, at the barbershop. And if that's you, I want you to do something with me real quick. It's called the ABCs of salvation. A, acknowledge. B, believe. C, confess. If that's you, I want you to pray this prayer with me, a prayer of acknowledgement, a prayer of belief, and a prayer of confession. If you're saying, Elder, I need to give my life to Christ, follow me. Say, Lord, I am a sinner. Lord, I believe you died on that cross for my sins. Now, God, I confess that I am saved. Oh, heaven is rejoicing. We're rejoicing here at Freedom Rock because you just gave your life to Christ. Listen, if that was you, do me a favor. I want you to email us here at Freedom Rock at freedomrock@frcfc.org. It should be on the screen. Once again, that's freedomrock@frcfc.org. Email us, let us know so we can connect you to this wonderful church. And I'm sure Bishop-elect LaBaron Hedgemon and First Lady Michelle Hedgemon will stand here with open arms and give you a hug regardless of whatever situation you've come out of. Oh man, I'm just supernatural only. That word is just all over me. If you were blessed by this message, do me a favor right now. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Comment right now. Let's send this word across the airways into nations because people need this word for what's going on right now with this coronavirus. Amen, somebody. Listen, once again, we would like to thank you for joining us. And until next time, God bless.